Now, let's take a look at the menu block.
A lot of games will have a menu like every other block. It's going to be in a block named, in this case, menu, in a directory, and it's going to have images, probably, not required, but seems very likely. And then you're going to have a menu.html and a menu underscore config. So you can rename these if you want, but let's just take a look how it comes out of the box. Like every other block, it will come with a complete working example. So here is our menu from another game. It's got 5 different options. If you take a look at it here in the config file, which again is always the only thing you need
To change,
there's a title at the top, said make a choice. You can change that if you want. There's a background image. There is alt text if you have images, which makes sense. You should have alt text, right? And the path to your image and the URL where you want it to go to when you click on that image. Now there's 2 rows, so you can have up to 6 options on a menu. I wouldn't have more than that because it gets confusing. You can have 3 in the first row, or 2, or 1, and 3 in the second row. So here's how it's set up. Now, that's not what I want. In this case, I want only 2 in the first row. Now I'm going to go in, and like I said in another video, the first thing you should do is have your artwork done. So I'm just going to change the path to the image for each one. You can have multiple menus if you wanted to. If you have a lot of options, like I do in this case, maybe I want it to go to a second menu.
I do that for every menu item, put in the alt text, put in the path for the image that I want shown, and put in the URL where I want it to go when you click on that image in the menu. And that URL, like always, is going to be a relative link to another block.
Now in my case, each of these
Menu items leads to another menu where they have
choices for recycling and plastic pollution, but you could send them to anywhere from there. As you would see in the original example, they go to different blocks in the game, different game parts. And all of my images happen to be in the images folder right here. I think in most cases that's what it's going to be.
As you can see, there's only one menu item for row 2. So as you can see, I deleted the other menu item there.
Now, up here, I want to give you an example of how you can have images from more than one place. It doesn't have to be from your images directory.
That's a subdirectory of the menu block.
Here, I'm going to get something out of the images folder that is where I put things that are used repeatedly in here. Yeah, I like that one.
Here's my menu. It has borders around each image because I use the blue theme, which we'll talk about later, but I want to edit it a little. Pretty much anywhere in blocks, you have the option to enter HTML and CSS if you would like. So here I would like to have a space before and after the make a choice. So that's it. You don't need to ever add any HTML or CSS in here, but if you want to, you have that option, as we'll see again and again in other videos. Now, there's my menu with the space added in the title.